Hi, welcome to White Cats, the podcast with Andrew LZ. My name is Andrew LZ. I'm a Phoenix comedian who hasn't done comedy in over a year, and I'm slowly dying. That's why I had to do this podcast where I watch the movie Cats once a week, every week for a year at least. I'm watching it 52 times and in the fastest span I can. And I am forcing my friends, other comedians, and music producers. Like last week, I had Alex Spradling, who like good friend, but he's also a very talented music producer as well. So if you ever need anything mixed or anything, I'd probably look him up. He's down in Florida. No need to know where. But this week, I have my first recurring guest. He was my first guest on the show. He is my best friend. He is Nick Ervin.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'd like to state for the record that you're dying because you haven't done comedy in over a year, and you've just decided to speed up the process by watching Cats 52 times.
Yes.
Because much like I started our first podcast together. Spoiler alert: I am also dying inside now.
But you only have to watch it 5 times.
True.
Ervin is my every 10th guest. He was the first guest, and he's going to be every 10th guest just because I feel like I need to force him to watch this movie. And
someone has to go on this journey with you.
Yeah, I mean, and also the first episode was just like, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. We went like an hour and a half. It was ridiculous.
Just getting your feet or your paws wet.
Oh God!
See what I did there? See, yeah.
And I will say, like, whenever I was communicating with Ervin earlier today, he was like, "Wait, are we using Zoom or are we using something else?" I was like, "Oh, we're using Zoom." And I was like, "You were planning on doing that cat filter for like that lawyer did?" And he's like, I was thinking about it. I was like, I know you.
It was top of my priority list throughout the day, trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably learn how to do it if we really tried, but it's just more work than it needs to be.
More work. It's been done.
Yeah. Before we get into Cats, what have you been watching lately?
Let's see here. Going through a rewatch of New Girl.
Okay.
Which is
what season are you on?
I'm in season 2. I'm taking this one slow because I don't want to like barrel through it like my other recent rewatches throughout the pandemic.
Yeah.
I'd like it to last.
I barreled through so many shows.
And then finishing a Brooklyn Nine-Nine rewatch at the same time.
Nice. I'm actually, just because of the announcement of the new season and everything, being its last, very sad face. But they did plan on just doing 153.
Only 153 episodes.
And you know what? They're going to get there.
Yeah. that
your sex tape.
That press release announcing the final season, that it was going to be the final season, that was just chef's kiss. It was perfect.
It was great. Dan Gore is great. I should try. Like, I wouldn't be able to get him on the podcast.
Might as well get Andy Samberg. Let's shoot for the moon here.
Yeah, I mean, I did just watch the unauthorized Bash Brothers experience again for like the 20th time. It's like
absolutely beautiful.
I love that. I love that thing. It introduced me to the band Haim. Maya Rudolph and Stephanie Beatrice are in there. Jerry from Parks and Rec is in there. I can't think of his name right now.
You mean Gary?
Jerry, Larry, Gary, Gergich Gingrich.
Yes.
Let's see. Is his name on here? No, it's not. Of course it's not. Actually, no, it probably is. God damn it.
It probably has 4 or 5 different names.
Jim O'Hare.
He is absolutely hilarious. No, how good is Maya Rudolph though?
Like, oh my God.
I forget how amazing she is. Sometimes I have Peacock, the free version, because I refuse to pay for yet another streaming service.
Oh, I've got it.
But sometimes I just put on the SNL vault, and the other night I swear it was just like 6 in a row of Maya Rudolph, and she is just absolutely amazing.
She's a killer.
I think she is one of the few people that could have made Cats more enjoyable.
I don't know. It's pretty enjoyable. No,
pretty enjoyable.
No, she's even great in like in minor roles too. Like
Oh
she
yeah,
like did you see Sisters with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler?
I did not. I did not.
It's pretty funny. It's definitely worth a watch. And Maya Rudolph is like their old rival, and and they're holding a giant house party. Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, just because they're about to like their parents are selling the house, so they decide to hold one last house party, and it just goes nuts. Bobby Moynihan's amazing in it. He gets
Oh, Bobby Moynihan.
he's eventually on cocaine in the
Is this where they got the idea for the for the videos on SNL of the music festivals?
Oh my
Bobby
god.
Moynihan.
Oh, that you
What was it? Ask Dan or something like
yeah.
that?
I'm gonna live for it, and then just dead.
Da, 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 da.
No, what's it called? Like he's that guy from high school that who is still kind of stuck in high school, but he's telling like all those like old like really juvenile jokes, and he doesn't know when to stop. Like he's doing Scarface, and then and he randomly finds some cocaine that randomly got because John Cena's their drug dealer.
God.
So he finds
this
some
movie sounds amazing.
He
I have to check this movie out.
He's their drug dealer, but Bobby Moynihan snorts what he thinks is like flour or something.
Oh no.
And it turns out it is cocaine. He's trying to do Scarface, and it only makes things worse.
Only makes things worse, I'm sure. Yeah.
Bobby Moynihan was great. But Maya Rudolph was just like randomly, like she's not invited to the party. So she's just randomly dancing outside of the house. Maya
She's
Rudolph's
great. She's,
oh my yeah.
In the third season, second season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, she's the U.S. Marshal when Holt is in witness
when Holt
protection
and Andy Samberg, I can't think of his name. Wow, but I can't think of his name.
Oh, Jake Peralta.
Yeah, when they're down in Florida.
Yeah. She's talking about cheating on her husband with the pool boy.
And she got an Emmy this year too, for last year for Big Mouth. Deservingly so. My God,
Big Mouth deserves all of the Emmys.
Yeah, for the Hormone Monstrous. I mean, if anybody thought the Hormone Monster was great, the Hormone Monstrous is even better.
Yes.
And she's very famous for saying bubble bath. I can't do it because she's amazing. Yeah, so I mean, but obviously we've been watching WandaVision as well, and you and I have been going like deep into that.
WandaVision. I was talking to an acquaintance on another podcast that I listen to that I go back and forth with on Twitter quite often. DC Comics podcast, check it out. But just talking about how Marvel has this innate ability with this limited run series that they're doing, multiple of, not just WandaVision, but Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki,
Hawkeye,
all those things. Yeah, all the stuff that's coming out on Disney Plus. They have it. It's a very comic book-esque thing that they're doing, these limited series runs where they only get 9, 10, 11 episodes to tell a longer story than a movie, obviously. But it's more
digestible too, because
it's more truncated than a 22 episode season.
Yeah.
So you don't have these filler episodes. Every episode, even though it was kind of a slow burn to start, this mystery that they've been building over 5 episodes is just, I mean, that's what comic books is about, man. They've captured lightning in a bottle, in my opinion, more than what the movies are able to do.
Yeah. And there's so much mystery behind especially this one. I imagine there's going to be some like more action set pieces with Falcon and Winter Soldier. There's going to be a kind of a Doctor Who-ish thing to Loki. I don't know what Hawkeye is going to be. I think it's going to be more espionage. kind of like Captain America,
Winter
the
Soldier.
Winter Soldier. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be kind of like that.
Well,
because,
and we know that we're getting Kate Bishop in it.
yes,
which
and that's
is
Haley Steinfeld.
Yes, which is going to be awesome. I think that I believe it's a Matt Fraction run in the comics on Hawkeye with Kate Bishop. Excellent run. So it should be good. Like all of these series have touchstones from the comics that they're using as like a starting point for people. So like WandaVision has its roots in a Vision comic series, limited comic series done by Tom King. And Loki has its touchstones from a comic series. So it should be pretty darn good.
And WandaVision obviously is probably going to incorporate a lot of House of M.
Yeah, I would hope. I would. I mean, if Evan Peters, spoiler alert, I guess. Even though it's been a week, spoiler alert. Evan Peters.
Not enough people listen to this podcast, so it doesn't matter.
so many questions about his arrival.
Yes,
like
I don't think he's real. I don't think he's.
I think that's
Pietro.
as good. I think that's as good of a feeling about it as he is real. Like it is literally a coin flip.
Yeah. But I'm excited. Tomorrow, today, whenever this comes out, we'll have seen episode 6, and it's like
and then only 3 more after that.
Yeah,
to wrap up a story.
I've been talking to my sister. I was like, this is the thing I've been looking forward to the most during this entire. Like, we're already a year into this is the thing I'm enjoying the most during this entire pandemic, just because like it keeps you on your edge, just because like it is week to week. You're not able to binge it.
It's event television. It's water cooler television like it used to be. People would watch MASH, I guess, and talk about it around a water cooler. I don't know. I think that sounds dumb to me personally, but it's pre-internet people talking about a show. That's the kind of event television it is. Kind of you saw it with The Mandalorian. You saw it with The Boys from Amazon.
The Boys was great. But didn't we get like the first?
Got 3 episodes to start the second season of The Boys, and then it was released weekly after that.
And that was great.
Not unlike WandaVision that released the first 2 episodes. So
it's been exciting. So all right, so we got a little bit of banter out of the way. We'll probably banter a little bit later. Let's get to the subject of the show, of this damn show. The movie Cats. This great cinematic achievement.
Sure. Great cinematic achievement.
So
if by great cinematic achievement you mean somehow they found a way to make methamphetamine into film reel.
I don't feel like that's a great comparison, because I think people love meth whenever they use it.
But it also ruins lives. I think we have to
you're
about
okay,
that
you're not wrong there. I wasn't thinking about that part. God, that shows you where my head's at. I don't do meth. Never done it. Never seen it. Let's just put it that way. I've seen blue meth on the show Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I think that's all that. I think that's got to be close to it, right? That's got to be what it's like.
Sure. I don't know. I just think of meth when like I see a bumblebee. I think of meth, not meths. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Really gone off the rails on this one.
So I think we talked about it the last time. You had to watch the movie twice the first time I had you on.
I did. Oh,
so
that was
what was your
idea.
third rewatch of this movie? How was that?
Much like the first 2, I felt like I was watching 4 hours worth of movie within the first hour.
It was a bad dream that wouldn't stop.
I kept checking how far into the film I was again. And I knew I did it the last time. Why am I doing it this time? And consciously, literally my brain was like, you need to check what time stamp is right now.
Okay, so I actually wrote this down. The movie honestly could have ended after the 50-minute mark, right when that big dance number is right after Judi Dench's
Fucking Judi Dench,
I know.
man. We're already talking about Dame Judi Dench is a cat that wears a coat.
When Deuteronomy appears, honestly, that big dance number, they could have ended the movie after that, right after that, and I think the the critic score might have gone up.
It would have made just as much sense, if not more.
Yes. It would have been more bearable for people, I think. I don't know. I don't know. But...
I mean, what is it they always say on how did this get made? If it's under 90 minutes, it's probably a shitty movie.
Yeah.
For this film and this film alone, if it would have been under 55 minutes, it would have been a better movie.
Yes. But it still wouldn't have been a good movie.
Oh, no.
It would have been a slightly better movie. Quick question. If you had to be somebody in this production, who would you be?
I'd be one of the cockroaches that gets eaten by freaking Rebel Wilson.
Oh, damn. I was hoping you were going to go with like a bigger character, just because there's one character who follows James Corden, Busterford Jones. He's like his little like butler cat, and he has like 3 singing lines, but he's like all he's doing is just like acting pretty like terribly, just constantly just right next to James Corden, like, and all he's doing is just facial expressions. That's the extent of the acting I can do.
I think if memory serves me correct from our first recording of the podcast, I think my love for Ray Winstone's character
Growl Tiger
would also be very high up there on my list of characters I'd want to be.
Oh yeah, just to I don't know, think that you're a big deal when in actuality you are Ray Winstone and you're kind of the big deal, but in this movie you were definitely not.
Oh, not at all. Like he literally has what 4.5 minutes of screen time, maybe,
if that. My God, it's not a great movie. It's a I think that's an understatement, but it's, I don't know. I am on watch number 12 or 13. I can't remember, because I watched it one week that I didn't have a guest, and then I didn't watch it for like 2 or 3 straight weeks just because I needed a mental health break. And that's real.
In the middle of a pandemic, you're like, you know what? This Cats movie, it's really getting to me.
But like I said, I had Alex Bradling on last week. I had Sprad, and he brought up a couple things that I think I once thought of, but I like we talked about a little bit about religion with this, because if you think like Macavity, he's kind of like the devil figure.
Okay.
Or would he be? I can't remember exactly what.
I mean, I think that's an apt comparison.
And what's her name? Whenever Grisabella goes with him, and so she kind of walked with the devil, and that's why she's been cast out, and now she's out like on the wasteland, as they say. So, so do you think that's kind of like a pretty accurate thing to kind of describe about like the kind of like, and then Deuteronomy's kind of, what would you say Deuteronomy is? I think you could do that like as an allegory for Christ, I guess. I wasn't sure if I would go as high as Christ, but maybe a Moses character bringing her out of the desert kind of thing at the end. I mean, I can't see the religious symbolism there. I think it could be a bit of a stretch, but it makes sense if you really try hard. Yeah, if you try hard. Well, I mean, I've had a number of different different thinkers on the show since. Like a couple weeks ago, I had a comedian named Lexis Charday. She's a life coach, but then she also talked about like a little bit of spirituality regarding this movie. She talked about like what how like some of the reincarnation could be like with them going up to the Heaviside layer, that could be reincarnation or anything like that.
Like almost a Hindu type reincarnation.
A little bit like that. Thing is, if you think about this movie, which I don't suggest you do,
no, not at great lengths, at least.
You could make parallels to a lot of things, but none of it's right.
Well, part of me thinks that Andrew Lloyd Webber may have been doing some sort of quaaludes when he adapted this from the T.S. Eliot poetry.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the 80s.
Yeah, I think 1981 or 83.
81, yeah. 81 is when it came out. I mean, T.S. Eliot wrote
that short story.
The poetry in like 39, I want to say.
Yeah, where he mentioned the Jellicle cat. Or the word Jellicle, at least. I don't know if cat was after it.
Yeah, it was Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats.
Thank you, yeah.
By T.S. Eliot. So a lot of cocaine and quaaludes went into this. And I mean, I'm sure some people in the 80s saw Jesus when they did all their cocaine and quaaludes. I can't say that they didn't.
Can't say they did either. So did you have a new, like, I can't remember what you answered last time, because I definitely asked, did you have a favorite song during this? If you were to pick any of them besides obviously Memories.
Yeah, you can't pick Memories because it's the only solid freaking moment in the entirety of this movie, this musical, in my opinion. Man, I guess I had a new appreciation for some T Swift in this one.
Okay, yeah. That I can't remember the name of the song.
I wrote it down, or I put it.
McCavity's not there, or something like that. But it's I mean, I just watched that scene not too long ago. I wasn't just watching my favorite scenes of this movie. I was currently in a rewatch of it today, and yeah, it's that song's not bad. I definitely have an appreciation for that one, especially like all the drugs happening. I don't do meth.
That's gonna be the theme of this episode of Why Cats. I don't do meth.
No, if she was spreading any kind of drug, it'd probably be kind of like acid tablet. No,
I'm gonna stick with cocaine, man.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the best, just because like all the cats end up sleeping at the very end.
No, it's because they get all hyped up on cocaine, and then they're coming down, man.
So yeah, I mean that song definitely isn't bad. I think there are definitely some, like, actually I don't hate very many of the songs in this thing. I just like all the in-betweens aren't great. Like the acting is not bad.
No, it's not, but none of it makes sense either, and that's
none
the
of
problem.
It's necessary. And God, I'm just completely distracted by your room, just because there's just
there's
everything.
A lot going on.
There's so much happening.
So what happens when you're 37 with 3 kids? It's their world, you're living in it, which oddly enough is what I think the world in Cats is. It's apparently a human world with maybe human-sized cats. I kept coming back to that.
Yeah. Well, with once again back to Sprad, what he brought up last week was like he was thinking possibly it's a post-apocalyptic, maybe it's a dystopian future.
Ooh,
but the thing is, there is that human at the very beginning. I know, which I had to derail him on that, which sucked because
maybe he's a Terminator. Maybe the human at the beginning is a Terminator,
and they're just throwing cats.
That's what this is. It is what happens after Terminator Salvation. This
Perfect.
movie, this version of the movie was made by McG apparently. So that's what Cats by McG is.
Oh my God! Can you imagine Cats by McG?
Unfortunately, I can.
It's this movie. No, this is Tom Hooper.
Yes. Oh, most assuredly. Yeah, I like the post-apocalyptic take on
idea.
that. That actually seems pretty cool.
Well,
I mean, cool concept.
Yeah.
Not cool execution.
And also we talked about scale, and he brought up I'm sure you remember, the great tap dancing scene. I mean, the tap dancing is really good in that scene, but the tap dancing scene, the rail that the cats are walking on is so huge. It's supposed to be a railroad rail, and it's comparatively, it is about 3 times as wide as those cats, when in actuality rails are about like probably 2 to 3 inches wide. So
yeah, there is no sense of scale in this entire movie. It is all over the place. It's like they said, let's make a legend for the map.
Yes, and just throw it away.
And then just throw it away. Everything is the size that it is, and there is no commonality between sizes of anything. Buildings, billboards, apparent people, cats.
Yes.
I still would like to say that that's probably a Terminator at the beginning.
An old woman Terminator.
Feel better.
Just maybe no. Helena Bonham Carter wasn't a Terminator. She was just
Skynet.
She was dying. She was a dying scientist.
Yeah, that was it. And ended up being Skynet.
Oh yeah, she was. She did end up being Skynet, didn't she?
Yeah.
God.
Underrated movie. I'm sorry. Underrated movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Not a necessary movie.
No, completely unnecessary.
But it's not the worst Terminator movie.
We did get Christian Bale yelling at people because of it, and
I think he turned the corner after that. I think he kind of just realized what kind of a monster he was probably being. No, from everything I've heard since, I think he's kind of just like he's.
I mean, he's
become
no
like
Tom Cruise yelling at people.
That Tom Cruise yelling was great, though.
Bravo, Mr. Cruise.
Yeah.
Xenu's gonna take you to the ship later.
Is that the?
Oh, I have no idea. I just make shit up about Scientology because it's stupid.
Yeah, it's a man's. It's literally. I can't say. I'm not going to say that. Because that would be rude.
It's all right. L. Ron Hubbard was a drunk and a soldier that went AWOL. So
I don't know about that part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I asked you this last time, and I'm going to see if it changed. I don't remember what it was. I should have listened to our previous conversation.
Okay.
What was the most disturbing part of this of the movie on this watch to you? Because mine has definitely changed.
Okay, so I believe that my answer the first time was Rebel Wilson tearing her flesh off. I was prepared this time since I knew it was coming. So it was not, I think it was the fact that Idris Elba was naked.
Yes.
I think that was like just haunting.
And it's the only time that man would not be attractive is covered in fur.
You get the self-proclaimed from Fast and Furious 37 Black Superman in your movie.
That was Hobbs and Shaw.
Which actually was really good.
Actually, I didn't. That's the only Fast and Furious movie I've ever seen, except for Tokyo Drift.
Ooh.
No, I'll stand by Tokyo Drift. I'll watch it.
Sure,
it's the only one I want to watch.
Kid from Friday Night Lights.
I'm down for Lucas Black.
Japan.
Lucas Black, I'll watch him. Like
anyway.
Pee-wee from 42. I'll watch him.
Yes.
Sling Blade. He was great in Sling Blade.
He was in Sling Blade. I forgot about that. So no, you get Idris Elba, who literally you could cast him as the next James Bond, and
nobody would bat an eye except for the studio and racists.
Yes, racist and Barbara Broccoli would bat an eye. But you get him, and then you find a way to make him the least sexiest man on the planet.
Yes. It's like it was a task that nobody thought was possible, but Tom Hooper made it happen. Actually, no, he was ugly in Star Trek Beyond too, which was Star Trek Beyond is a great movie. Like it's an underrated movie.
Underrated.
But you cover Idris Elba and a ton of prosthetics.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
You see Idris Elba as Idris Elba for like 3 minutes in that movie.
Yeah.
In this one, it's like I picture it in my head like that meme where it's like no one ... no one ... and then it's Tom Hooper. Hey, do you want to see Idris Elba with the anatomy of a candle? and that's what happened.
And we got it.
We got it. So he followed through on his pledge to give us Ken doll Idris Elba in the form of a cat. It creeped the hell out of me. And I knew it was coming, and it still creeped the hell out of me.
Oh yeah. My least favorite part of this movie, and I actually really like James Corden. I like James Corden a lot, and he's a great singer. He's a great dancer. Mm-hmm. I actually enjoyed the Late Late Show as well.
Yeah, very good.
And what's it called? There's the scene when he's trying to be catapulted up into that drain pipe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And then whenever he finally gets down to the drain pipe, when Jason Derulo is pouring champagne into his mouth, it's just so horrible. It's
making me nauseous.
It's my least favorite part of the movie.
Have we talked about how James Corden's character's name is Bustopher Jones?
I love it.
It is one of the few names in this movie that I'm like, yeah,
makes sense.
I dig that one. I get it. That is definitely a Bustopher.
No, the thing is, like because I've watched this movie so many times, and in a matter of like 4 months, I've watched it 12 times. That's
only 13 times too many.
If I ever just catch myself singing anything, it's literally, I'm Bustopher Jones. I'm not skin and bones. In fact, I'm remarkably fat. Yeah, it's if I sing any part of that from this movie, it's usually that. I can't help it. It's not a good song, but it's like he makes it work because he's James and he's charismatic. Oh my god! You know how I told you to watch the show Superstore?
Yes,
you probably never did.
Thank you, by the way.
Did you?
Freaking fantastic!
It's really funny. It's deceivingly funny because you think it's not going to be anything, but then it's great. On the most recent season, they talked about they said, oh, I like James Corden. He's British, but you definitely know he's not smarter than you. And I was just like, that is the meanest burn I have.
He's British, but you definitely know he's not smarter than you.
And it was just a passing joke in that show, and I was just like I had to pause. I had to walk around. It was just the biggest fantastic dig I'd ever heard. It was great.
I'm looking at the names of the characters in this film.
Oh, it's my favorite part.
And I use film very generously
I very rarely use the word film except for movies pre 2000.
Well, I mean, I just look over.
I'm a film snob.
The names of these characters.
Give me one.
Well, my question is seeing these, like there are character names with qualifiers on them, like McCavity, the mystery cat. What? Rebel Wilson is the Gumby cat as her qualifier.
Yeah.
Also,
Jenny Anydots.
Jenny Anydots is also
one word.
Yes. Also, that's a good one. That is Rebel Wilson. That's her personality. But like, Ian McClellan is Gus, Asparagus, the theater cat,
Growl Tiger had something. I can't remember what his
I can't
is.
remember. I didn't write that one
Well,
down.
there's also Mr. Mistopheles, the magical cat. Um, Bombalurina. That's just Taylor Swift. I don't know if she has a word to describe her.
She's T Swift. She can be whatever she wants.
Oh yeah, and she just
Grisabella is the glamour cat.
actually I do love that description of her. I think that's a great description.
I still go back to the fact that Mungo Jerry is the worst fucking name.
But Rumple Teaser is a great name.
I mean, Rumple Teaser's fine. Mungo Jerry is awful.
It sounds like something Rick from Rick and Morty would call Jerry. And in fact, I'm calling it for this upcoming season. He's eventually going to call him.
Dan Harmon, call Drew. Let him know that you want to use Mungo Jerry.
Yeah. No, you gotta call what's his name, Andrew Lloyd Webber first, and then call me.
And then call. No, the names in the like.
Oh, what, Skimbleshanks?
Yeah, the names
cats
are one of the few areas in this where I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. My favorite name, and it's never said in the movie, and I think I brought this up last time. I wholeheartedly believe he is the MVP of this movie. Is Monkey Strap. He's the guide of Victoria throughout the entire. He's weirdly obsessed with he's obsessed with what's her name, Old Deuteronomy, but whenever Busterford Jones shows up the first time, he lights up. He lights up and then immediately rubs his face against him. And
he's the protector of the Jellicoe tribe, okay?
I know. But his name is Robbie Fairchild. I actually just looked him up on Twitter. He's like, I don't use Twitter anymore. Find me on Instagram. So I found him on Instagram, and I am
Find me on that IG.
And I'm going to ask him to be on this podcast eventually.
You absolutely should.
Because he posted like in December of 2020, he was like, hey, this is the 1 year anniversary of the premiere of this movie. You can give it a lot of crap, but I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of what I did. I was working with the best in the world for 7 months for 6 days a week, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I would kill to be doing it again. So, I mean, he's also a theater guy. So, I mean,
gotcha.
I mean, I get all of his reasonings, but I want to get him on the show and
get his thoughts on the.
I want to talk to him about this movie.
2019 Razzie Award winner.
Yeah, but I want to also respect the work that he did and the work
obviously
that everybody did.
But they obviously put in a ton of work. They went to cat school.
Yeah, but I'm putting it out there. I want Robbie Fairchild on this show. Like, so if anybody ever listens to this, if you care about me at all, I want Robbie Fairchild on this show.
Let's get that hashtag trending.
I don't know. I can't think of a hashtag that'd be
get
clever.
Me Robbie.
Get me Robbie. It's going to be on my
so aggressive
on my Twitter and Instagram account, which my Twitter is either 5th and 55 or YCatsPod, or on Instagram it's just 5th and 55. I want Robbie, or get me Robbie.
Hashtag get me Robbie. Please do not attempt to kidnap Robbie Fairchild. Anyone who's listening,
he's a florist in New York. That's all I'm going to give you.
So apparently, Monkey Strap, younger brother, Rum Tum Tugger.
That's his young brother.
Yeah, that's what the official Cats compendium states.
Huh. I'm so I will never look at this movie the same way again. I still haven't watched the Broadway production of it yet.
I gotta say, you're probably not missing anything.
Probably not, but it's like it. You know, I'm gonna end up with a cat's tattoo at some point.
Oh. As long as it is Kendall, Idris Elba, or
Taylor Swift on the moon. I can't think of the
or just Old Deuteronomy's coat.
Yeah, just the coat. I don't want Deuteronomy.
No Deuteronomy.
No, I just want it on the ground. I just want
Who is apparently turning into a human at the end because the freaking hand is a human hand. Is all I'm saying.
That is the second worst part of the movie is her talking to camera for 3 straight minutes.
Just eyes, just fourth wall breaking.
And she not only does it once, she does it twice. You think, oh God, thank God it's over. And then she does it again.
She's Dame Judi Dench.
One of the greatest actors of all time. She's been knighted. She is is she a knight?
Yeah. I mean, whatever. A female. I'm guessing females can also be knights, but yeah. Dame Judi Dench, the woman, played M in not Bond. Just one set of Bond films, but 2 sets.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 movies now, 5 or 6.
Well, she was in all 3 of Pierce Brosnan's.
Oh, was she in all 3? Okay.
Yeah, and then she was in all of Daniel Craig's, but the last one or the last 2.
Yeah, was she not in the? Oh yeah, because Ralph Fiennes took over.
Yeah.
No, but I think she died at the beginning of that.
She died at the end of Skyfall.
Okay.
So she wasn't in Spectre or
in this upcoming one, whenever that
one
decides to come out.
It's been pushed back to like November, I think.
Oh.
No, this year, but like November.
Yeah.
Apple just needs to spend the $500 million on it and like inject it into my veins ASAP.
Yeah. It does look good, but like I haven't cared about one since Spectre. Not Spectre, since
Skyfall.
Skyfall was amazing. I liked Spectre. Spectre was good. It wasn't great, but it had Batista in it, so I definitely wanted to see that because I like Batista.
We just watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like, Batista is high on that list of awesomeness.
Him and Mantis, I think it's one of my favorite team ups in the entire MCU.
It's great. It's fantastic.
My God, yes, use knives. Mantis like is so great. Like take names, kick ass, kick names, take ass. That's right. I just love Batista right after. That's right. Take names, kick. Fuck,
Batista,
I can't say it right.
I think Batista would have found a way to be good in this movie, in Cats.
Oh, who would Batista play?
I think he has to take Ray Winstone's place.
No, it's such a.
And then
small
you got to
part.
give him. You got to give him more screen time, though.
It's such a small part. Here, let me look at this. Jenny any dot. No,
Dave Bautista is Rebel Wilson in Jenny Any Dots.
No, I say you either give him not Rum Tum Tugger. Because I don't want to get rid of James Corden either. I would damn it, Skimble Shanks the Railway Cat, even though that guy's amazing. Stephen McRae.
I mean, I'm all in for making him old Deuteronomy. That's all I'm saying.
You're not wrong. I would actually. Judi Dench, you don't need this on your IMDb. Neither does Dave Bautista. Did you actually watch his that kind of spy kids movie that he did?
I did not.
My Spy. It's actually pretty fun. Watch it with the kids. Watch it with the kids. It's good.
I think it's on Amazon Prime. So
yeah, it is. You should watch that. Just Dave Bautista, great guy. Good person too. My God.
I have to ask. So, did you find yourself pausing it and checking the timestamp again through subsequent watch throughs, or did that stop eventually?
I still check it because sometimes I'm so you get through it and you're like, man, it's got to be like I should only have like half an hour left, and no, you still have an hour.
You have an hour and a half.
No, like I can get like, because I used to think it really dragged at the beginning, and it does. But I used to really hate like the first 40 minutes, and I could enjoy the last hour. Now I'm kind of enjoying the first half a little bit more than the last hour.
So I once again could not watch it all the way through in like a single setting. I had to stop and do something else for a little bit and then come back to it.
I can watch it in a single setting.
it's just
It's hard. It's hard.
it's
But
difficult.
remember, I have zero responsibilities. I have no family I have to worry about. I live with my sister and I live together, and we have 2 dogs, and that's about it.
That's a responsibility. Dogs are responsibilities.
I have to pay bills, so I do go work and everything. But literally, I don't have to worry about anything. I get why other people have to worry about things like you and Spread and Lexus. You guys all have families. Ben Kaufman was one of my guests. He has a family. I have to worry about, like, I get why all you guys, that's why you're the only person I'm burdening with this for multiple watches. But you also just, you consume entertainment, not like probably almost as much as I do, but just like you're good at prioritizing your family first too. So, speaking of prioritizing your family, what games are you playing? Have you been playing Resident Evil? Like I'm having such a hard time getting past a certain part.
That game is so creepy.
It's
that game is like, I find myself the anxiety. Okay, so this is my theory. Resident Evil games are games about a freaking virus.
Yes.
We are entering 11th month of a pandemic.
We're in the 12th because it's like, I think it.
Well, I got here on January 29th, so you're right. So we are a full year into the start of coronavirus in America. I see it every day, obviously.
Yes.
Healthcare professional. Everybody does, but I actually take care of people that suffer from it, and I think the fact that is the underlying piece of information that you need to know about the Resident Evil series, getting into those games, I think that just makes the anxiety level even higher. But with that being said, it's also just a really atmospheric, creepy game, and very well done.
Yes.
The lighting, the character models, there's only jump scares.
There's only like 6 or 7 characters in this entire game.
Yeah.
And it's horrifying.
Yeah.
It's so like the best word to describe it is atmospheric. It's just atmospheric horror with body horror.
I think I would say it is akin to almost like an original Halloween style.
Yeah.
Obviously a little more graphic. Longer. Obviously,
I'd say it's kind of like Halloween mixed with The Thing.
I could see that. Yeah, that's good.
Or we could just say it's like Resident Evil.
Yeah, there you go. Those movies were awful.
Yeah.
Just real bad.
I like the first one a little bit, but everything after that's pretty bad. I'm not a huge action person, but I do love Mila Jovovich. So I mean,
yes, she is fantastic in The Fifth Element.
Yes.
I'm also playing a game called Control.
What is that?
I believe it's by the same studio that did a game called Quantum Break. Not positive on that, but it's another one of those weird atmospheric games.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to explain.
Okay.
Just extremely difficult. I would say check it out. It is on PlayStation as well as Xbox.
Nice.
And then Destiny 2.
Check that out. Beautiful.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Steelbook for it. I don't like steelbooks, awesome. But I'll buy a steelbook for Fifth Element. Yeah. Speaking of Luc Besson, I was I had one of my highlight movies because I don't really talk about them. I just have them highlighted. But I had Valerian on beforehand, and then
we talked about it beforehand. It is a beautifully
done movie,
put together movie. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Just the story.
Everything else sucks about it, in my opinion.
Yeah. But I like Dane DeHaan. I like Cara Delevingne. I think she gets a lot of flack for being in bad movies, but I think she's usually the star of whatever bad movie she's in.
I think she does the best with what. Yeah, she does the best with what she's given.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. We got Ethan Hawke. hamming it up in Valerian.
True.
You got
Ooh.
Rihanna, who's what if you have Rihanna in your movie, make her look like Rihanna the entire time.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't make her bubble and make her like a bubble monster.
Yeah, that's just dumb.
Yeah.
I would state though that you replaced Valerian with one of my favorite movies in the last probably 5 years.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, so freaking good.
Yeah, it's great. I still think Pacific Rim is probably the best new kaiju movie. I think so, personally.
I think Pacific Rim is freaking fantastic. I mean, Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, he's a master.
Dude knows how to shoot a movie. Yeah. I think pulling from the history of Godzilla, updating it to a modern era with modern technology,
and still keeping that mythology.
Yeah, seeing the likes of King Ghidorah and Mothra and Rodan in this high definition. For me, I watched it in 4K the other day.
The Rodan scene, like that first Rodan scene, is amazing. Him coming out of the volcano and then just flying over like Mexico City or wherever he is at,
and then him taking out all the F-22 Raptors.
Yeah,
the plane, the jet, the military planes, as the big flying fortress is going. That's pretty freaking cool too.
My only I love King Ghidorah. I definitely think that he's impossible to shoot. But I think that they definitely didn't shoot him great. But Godzilla, they shot a lot better than they did in the first movie.
Perfect.
And I like what they did in the first movie. They kind of kept him hidden. They didn't use him as much. He only had like 13 minutes of screen time in that first movie. But I think it worked because literally it was a human story that had Godzilla in it. And the Mutos, I think, were a great addition to the MonsterVerse. I think they were amazing, especially because you had the male and the female, and they had two completely different dynamics. I thought that's the reason why I do love the new Godzilla that Japan hated.
That's why you loved Godzilla 2000 with Matthew Broderick.
No, that is Godzilla 1998.
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry.
Size does matter. Okay.
Ugh, what a terrible film.
Love this movie. I will go to bat for this movie every day for my life. I love how bad this movie
Godzilla laid eggs in Madison Square Garden, Drew.
Yeah.
Remember that.
He did. And guess what? One survived. I'm still waiting on the sequel.
Just Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane playing their characters from The Producers.
Don't give me ideas like that.
I would actually watch that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't give me that idea because now that's all I want to do. What?
Cats, but in the style of Producers. That's what I want to see.
I can't lie. I don't see it, but as long as you do.
The Producers, but with the characters from Cats.
Ooh. No, the only reason why I say that is because I do love me some Uma Thurman, and I don't want to replace her with Victoria.
What if you replace her with T-Swift?
Ooh. I got into this last week with Sprad. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of being attracted to these cats. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
56 weeks in, Drew contemplating getting a cat.
No, we did talk about furries in the last episode. And I ran it.
Don't want to kink shame.
No, absolutely not. I did run into some about 3 years ago at a barcade. There was about 15 all in costumes. I was there for a comedian, these twin comedians who I'm eventually going to have on the show.
Was one of them wearing a fur coat from presumably a cat that they killed and skinned to wear their coat?
The only one that I specifically remember was a blue wolf, and he had a leather spiked jacket on. And I was like, you do you, bro.
So he was basically a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle villain.
Yes, he was Razor. No, Toka.
Gotcha.
Toka was Toka had to be the wolf, right? And then Razor had to be the snapping turtle.
I think so.
We'll never know. But yeah, we talked about furries, and yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because like I said, not king shaming, but
so are we positing that all of these characters aren't actually cats, but they're furries?
No, I just didn't want to like I kind of put the two together. I don't want to like I mentioned Pornhub, but Pornhub's basically dead. I don't want to type in like Taylor Swift cats like on the search engine on Pornhub and see what somebody's come up with.
I'm gonna say right now, someone has already done that.
Yeah, and I'm not putting that into the search bar. Okay, I'm not. Ask me again in 10 weeks.
In Drew's last will and testament, please get rid of my search history.
Oh no, Cody's already there. Cody's already got that task.
Gotcha.
And I did ask you to come, but I said bring Cody because you know Cody's might have some ideas that you might not.
You gotta be careful.
Oh yeah. This episode is brought to you by ExpressVPN. No. God, I wish I could get a.
That's what you got to get a sponsor, and it'll be like a cat litter company.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by Tidy Cats.
Yeah, I'll take any of them. I'll take any. What's the other ones? There's got to be. I
had a cat one time when I was like 8.
Meow Mix. That's not a cat litter company, but let's go.
No, that is absolutely like. I mean, they would be taking care of both ends of the cat at that point, I guess.
You're right. God, that'd be a great business model. Why don't they get that?
Speaking of, are we ever going to see the butthole mix?
Did I not send you like the 3-minute clip that somebody edited?
Oh no! I would have remembered that.
I'm gonna send that to you. I sent that to Lank after his episode, and yeah, it's jarring. You think this movie's jarring? Wait till you see the trailer with buttholes.
So okay, speaking of the trailer, I rewatched the trailer before.
Did you get goosebumps because of the memories?
Before this rewatch, like, why is this not just an hour and 50 plus minutes of just the song Memories? Because at this point, it's the best thing it's got going for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I might hate the song Memories if I watched it if I listened to it for an hour and 50 minutes straight. This movie should be 4 minutes long and should just be Jennifer Hudson, no CGI.
Just singing the
just
song
singing Memories. And then just Finn.
Fade to black.
No, Finn. You gotta say no. What I would say pause, but no,
meow.
Pause. Yes, meow.
Meow, and then credits.
It's weird today. I was actually I was out driving today, and I delivered to this one house, and they had a cat that I pet, and it kind of looked like Grisabella. It was interesting. So
you didn't have impure thoughts about the cat, did you?
No.
Okay, good. Haven't gone down that alley yet.
Don't go through my history, okay?
Got it.
All right. Is there any movies that you're looking forward to, or any shows? I mean, obviously we talked about obviously we have Godzilla. King Kong.
we got Godzilla versus Kong coming up in mid-March. That is going to be freaking amazing.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that on the next time you're on.
Yeah, because it'll probably have come out by then, won't it?
I hope so.
God, I hope so. Man, now you got me excited about that. I mean, we talked about the other James Bond movie, but that's been pushed back to November. Show-wise, WandaVision tomorrow. The Super Bowl ad for Falcon and Winter Soldier really got me excited.
I'm excited for Daniel Bruhl as Zemo coming back.
Yes. I think they'll give him something to freaking do.
Yeah.
in this.
I mean, he did a little bit, but he was so underutilized in
Oh,
Civil War.
severely underutilized.
And Daniel Bruhl, why would you underutilize Daniel Bruhl? The guy's great.
Dude's got range.
Yeah.
What else? There was something else that I was
I got the 10th anniversary of Inglourious Basterds, the collector's edition.
Such a good.
So good.
Um,
My favorite Tarantino movie, besides like Kill Bill altogether, as one.
I am doing a rewatch, just on my own of Star Trek Discovery season 3.
I didn't get into. I didn't watch.
As a Trekker from way back when. It was good to have Star Trek back in my life again.
Yeah.
And I thought that they did an excellent job.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things.
So decided to rewatch that. But I find myself not as excited for movies here recently, just because obviously the theater experience just isn't happening for me.
Yeah.
I will be excited to get back into theaters, obviously.
Yes.
I
miss my MC, man. I would even give them $20 a month if just to have, but I'm not doing that. But I mean, I would.
I wish so Melissa and I had Movie Pass for a while.
Yeah.
Before it became
and imploded.
Worthless and imploded. And we loved it. We loved being able to pay, because we bought the year pass when it first came out. We loved being able to pay that one fee, and being able to go to the freaking movies anytime we wanted to.
Yeah. And with you guys having kids and everything, it like you had to just have that ability to just like, you have some free time, go.
Exactly. If once this pandemic is over, if our local theater had some kind of like monthly fee subscription service, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I think theaters need to roll with the punches. I mean, they're already facing rough financial times. Get creative with it.
Yeah. I don't know. The thing is, it's easier said than could be done. But like, yeah, it's just like it's going to be a rough go for theaters to come back, and we still have that experience at a decent price, because whenever they come back, it's going to be an inflated price probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Which sucks, but I get it. I mean, the thing is, like, the CEOs of like AMC and Harkins and Warenberg and all these giant companies, the CEOs aren't struggling. They're still doing fine. But the thing is, like, their business is probably going to go under, but those people are going to be fine. So, I mean, It sucks for the people who are working there, who'd been like managers at these places probably for years. And with this,
the Cape Theaters had the same manager since the freaking 90s.
Yeah.
Like early 90s.
Yeah, it sucks. Like, my sister was the assistant manager at IMAX for 7 years. I mean, but the person who was the manager had been there since like the early 2000s, late 90s, and he was still there whenever we moved, like up until the pandemic. So, I mean, yeah, it sucks.
What are you looking forward to besides obviously Godzilla versus Kong?
I would love to pay for the Promising Young Woman, but I can't really justify $20 for a rental. I'll pay $20 to buy it.
What is it?
It's Promising Young Woman. It's I can never remember the name of the actress. She just won the Emmy for Vosford, Carey Mulligan. No, that wasn't her.
I see Margot Robbie is producing it.
Yeah, but Promising Young Woman.
Carey Mulligan, Bo Burnham, Alison Brie is in it.
Yeah, but basically it's a story about Carey Mulligan. She was either raped or abused or something, and basically she's kind of made it her life's mission that she'll go after these nice guys that she meets at the bar. Like, basically she'll kind of go in disguise to like random bars, and then she'll act like she gets really drunk, and then she'll basically take advantages of these predators who think they are taking advantage of her. And Chris Mintz-Plasse is in it too, and like she'll get them to take her either to her home or their home, and basically if they try anything, she kind of just fucks them over, like
Oh God.
in a major way. And it's I can't wait to see it. It kind of sounds like a non-surgically based movie of there's a Canadian horror movie by the Soska sisters called American Mary, where this surgical student, she gets raped by her professor, her surgical professor, and he basically kind of gives her an ultimatum, like, you can either just get over it or you can leave. And she leaves, and then she kind of gets into like being the like underground body modification
Oh God.
surgeon, because she's talented. And then she gets back at her professor, and basically she kind of, like, spoiler, but very few people are going to watch it. It's called American Mary. It's really great.
Check it out.
She eventually gets her professor, and she basically takes off his limbs at like the elbow, the knee. She cuts out his tongue, and she hangs him by his back, like by piercings.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the mob kind of gets involved too. But it's
check that out.
The directors, they're twins. They're the Soska sisters, Jen and Sylvia, and they made another movie called Rabid. That was a remake of a Cronenberg movie that came out last year. It was all right.
Cronenberg movies, love them.
It wasn't my favorite Soska sister movie, but they broke out with a movie that they made in college that they made for like $15,000. It was called Dead Hooker in a Trunk. And it's really, and they act in it too. But I mean, it's a really fun, like, horror movie. They're really good at horror. They did the sequel to See No Evil, which was a WWE produced movie. They did a movie with the Big Show set in prison. The Soska sisters, like, I'll go to bat for them any day of the week. I really love them. But American Mary, it's got I'm sure you've seen her. Her name is, I can't think of her name. Catherine Isabel. She's a prominent Canadian actress.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's a little bit to take in.
Dark.
It's a little bit to take in just because there's a lot of weird body modification in it. So, yeah, but it's bloody. It's pretty good. I don't know. I haven't been looking forward to a lot of movies coming out just because I don't know what's coming out. Like,
I feel like my finger is not on the pulse like it used to be.
Yeah, Seth Meyers on his show last night said that Netflix put out 70 new movies last year, and I can maybe name 5 that I watched.
I can name 5 total, and I think I've watched 2.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought The Old Guard was good.
I didn't watch it. I actually just put that on my list. I still need to watch, like, The Power or whatever the thing is, like, with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Jamie Foxx. Actually, I really am, like, I'm not a huge action guy, but I am looking forward to that just because I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And Jamie Foxx, I wanted to hate for the longest time, but man, you can't deny the guy how good he is.
I was thinking the same thing the other day. I rewatched Tom Cruise,
Collateral?
Jamie Foxx, Collateral. Thank you.
Yeah. Jamie's amazing in that
Jamie
movie.
Foxx is amazing in that movie. Absolutely.
Initially, all you're thinking is Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise, and he's being like not a typical character of his. But man, but then you get past how crazy Tom Cruise is in that movie and how good he is, and then you're watching Jamie Foxx and you're like, holy shit, Jamie Foxx is acting the shit out of this movie.
He really did. I will say the only knock against that movie was at the end that Jamie Foxx just takes out this freaking assassin.
Yeah.
By just blindly firing a gun. But outside of that last bit of the film, just a really good Michael Mann film.
Yeah.
Just a really top notch.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of really anything else. Anything that, I mean, obviously, like you're my best friend. You're a
Mhm.
medical professional. Can you give anybody anything to take home from this?
Get your vaccine. Get your vaccine. Sign up. If you are in a state that has sign up, do it. If you have the availability to get it, get it. Know that the only way through this is if we continue to use masks, socially distance, wash our hands. We just have to keep being diligent and get our vaccine when it's available for us.
I've tried to sign up, but right now they're only admitting 75 and older right now, which is fine. I get it. I understand.
Know that the current administration has stated that they will have enough vaccines by the end of July to vaccinate the entirety of vaccine eligible individuals in America by the end of July. And that's not even counting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine if it gets emergency use authorization and goes into production. That is a single dose, a single shot. And a lot of people think, but it's not as effective, Nick. Well, guess what? It's 100% effective against hospitalizations and mortality. So even if you only get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine once it's available, you're most likely not going to die from COVID if you get it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have to go to the hospital. So
And-
I'd say that's a freaking win. If we can turn this thing into the common cold, that's a freaking win. But
Yeah.
people have to stop being selfish assholes.
Exactly. And even once you've received the vaccine, still socially distance, still wash your hands, still wear a mask.
It does take time for your vaccine to build up in your system, but even on top of that, just because you're vaccinated does not mean that you cannot be a carrier. We believe that you can still carry the virus and pass it along to somebody who doesn't have their vaccine or somebody who is very vulnerable and could die from this easily. So we got to be diligent until we get to herd immunity, everybody.
Yeah. Why have we not addressed your headband?
I don't know. I've been wearing it for the entire hour and a half we've been doing this.
I know. Why do you and I? Oh,
I'm at the part of the pandemic where I have literally not cut the top of my hair since March of last year.
It's been about
Melissa has been shaving
the sides.
But the
has she
top
been trying to blend it all or no?
No, no.
Just
I am in John McEnroe mode, where I have to wear a headband at home.
Yeah, I do that whenever I cook or whenever I work out.
I have to wear a headband of some kind when I work out. If not, it's just here. And
I don't know if I said this on the actual podcast. I'm not cutting my hair until after I've finished all 52 episodes of this show. So
little known fact, by the time you get to the end of this, you will actually have fur all over you and will have turned into a Jellicoe cat.
I would say that's I would say that's accurate, but unfortunately I'm half Mexican and I have a little bit of Native American in me. I don't get very much facial hair or hair at all. So
well, I look on the bright side. You will have fur from head to toe after week 52.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, I love you.
Love you too, man.
I can't wait till I see you. My sister's going to be in town in April. So that won't help you at all or me.
I was going to ask. So
I know I'm hopefully I'm back in Missouri by the end of the year. Hopefully that happens, but I'm only going to do it if
dude,
it's safe.
This pandemic ends up the way it should, and we'll find a way to fly your ass out here ourselves.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, like I said, I love you. I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to talk to you again. I'm gonna be texting you probably tomorrow or whatever.
Can't wait to further discuss why this god awful film was ever made.
All right. Once again, this is Y Cats. My name is Andrew LZ. You can find me on social media at 5th of 55 or YCatsPod. You can email the show at ycats2019@gmail.com. Nobody emails me. If I'm still putting it out, I finally started monetizing this, so hopefully I can get some revenue out of it. I don't know if I will. Maybe some
him.
Maybe some cents.
Buy the shoes. Email him.
All right. Well, once again, thank you. My name is Andrew LZ. I loved having my friend Nick Ervin, and just, God damn it, guys, just get vaccinated and shut the fuck up. Wear a mask. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.